Let's turn down the AC a little bit so it isn't blaring and making too much noise in the background. If you're reading the title of this or you see the thumbnail of this video, it's going to be pretty obvious that this isn't one of my normal happy-go-lucky, or I don't know, what is it called? Goofy, stupid, joking around videos. All of a sudden got the hiccups for some reason. Anyway, there's going to be some serious parts of this video that I just want to put out there because I want to be as real as possible on this channel, and I can't stand fakeness, really. I can't stand most reality shows. I can't. It's just something that I want to be as real as I can be out there, and I'm not going to go down a whole a crazy long video going through all the stuff that's gone on in my life, but maybe at some other point on this channel that might be something, but that's not really this video. This video is a couple things. First of all, on a lighter note, it's not really lighter like it's joking or anything like that, but the update on last week's video, the races, I stopped doing a video. Like I said, I was exhausted. I was doing videos I was editing in the hotel room. I was doing all this stuff, trying to get an upload ready for YouTube and ready for Facebook and all that stuff. Update on my daughter's races. One of the boats meddled. The boat that she was in didn't really meddle, but there was some kind of iffy stuff that happened in that race that wasn't really kosher or whatever, but it is what it is. It's life. Stuff happens in life. But the season goes on. We have another race coming up in a couple weeks. My wife, on another note, my wife is starting to move today, early this morning. She started to move, got into horrible traffic on the way to the new place. That's just part of living down here in Florida, and especially going on the road she was on. I mean, there's not too many alternative routes, so everybody's on that road, and if something happens, it's gonna be big. So it was a little bit of a delay. She's getting settled in over there. While she was doing that, I had breakfast at the church that I go to down here in South Florida. Just an amazing resource of this church that I've been going to. It's just I'm so blessed to have the guys in my small group that I'm part of. I'm just so blessed to have them in my lives, and this is going to be something I'm keeping in contact with them no matter what happens, and like wherever we move to or whatever. These are going to be brothers in Christ that I'm going to have till the day I die, which I'm so grateful for. I thank God for the people that He put in my life, which brings me to the title of this video and the thumbnail or whatever of this video. People that are watching this that actually kind of know me, know my past and the stuff that I've been through. And I'm trying to be real here. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like ham all this up and try to make this like some clickbait video where and try to tug on your emotions. I mean, it can be emotional to me, but let's be honest. We can all say, I can say with pretty good confidence that we've all had struggles in life. I mean, that's just part of life. The big deal is how do we deal with those struggles? And speaking from experience, I can tell you right now that I've handled it horribly. This is not to butter me up at all. None of this is to butter me up. It's actually going to put me in probably a bad light. But this is truth. This is what my life is, okay? People that know me know that it's been about a decade of hurts, loss, and resentments in my life. Especially the guys at my church right now, especially the small group that I talk about this stuff with. Hurts, loss, and resentments. And what do I say about, and what is that? I mean, it's just, everybody's got their own story, right? I mean, my story, I'm not going to go down, like I said, I'm not going to go down a whole thing. I'm not going to, this video could go on for hours, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to like briefly touch on stuff. My mom and dad have passed. They passed a while ago. I lost them. My wife actually never met my mom, which I feel sad about, because I think they would get along so awesome, because they're both, I see the love in both of them. Sorry. I'm not making this stuff up, but it's sometimes hard to talk about this, but I see the same characteristics in both of them. And my mom just has this love, and just she's an amazing person. Unfortunately, they never got to meet. My mom had passed away before then. I lost a friend, a co-worker, one of the guys I worked with at Chick-fil-A. That was my first job out of high school. Lost him to complication with his asthma and stuff. Lost my dad. My wife did get to meet my dad, and it was awesome. We got to be there for him as in his last days, and he got to see my kids, which was amazing. But lost him. Started working for a company called Critical Intervention Services. We're armed security. We worked a job that was fairly dangerous in certain areas, that we were just trying to protect people that were in high risk areas. He was ambushed, shot, and killed. And I'm not going to go down the whole story behind any of this. A lot of loss that happened, and like I said, a decade of all this just stuff happening. And unfortunately, I could have gone both ways. Like, how did I deal with it? I mean, I could have just been like, that's life, and God's still good. But no, I didn't do that. What ended up happening was, it caused me to become more angry, and have an anger that I held on to for way too long, and that bled into a lot of stuff that I didn't even really think it was bleeding into. But I didn't mean for any of it to happen, but it happened because that's the choice I took. And this is real. This is my life. All this stuff that happened to me, the loss of my mom, the loss of my dad, the loss of my friend from the job I worked at Chick-fil-A, the loss of a fellow officer, that we patrolled the same areas over and over again, and the same property that he patrolled, many other officers are walking that patrol as well, and it could have been any of us. And it hurt, and it's hard, because it's something that emotions can take over you, and unfortunately, that's what I let happen in my life. So holding on to the anger and resentments for especially that guy who murdered my friend, took a toll. Anger is debilitating, and the Bible states, "Don't let the sun go down in your anger." Well, I let all this stuff just fester in me for so long. And one thing I didn't notice until recently, when I'm just talking to fellow Christians and just talking to guys in the church, I can't be grateful while at the same time being angry. And I can't be angry at the same time as being grateful. So I have a choice I can make. It's a fork in the road. I have a choice I can make. And I nonstop through a lot of my life, I took the other side. I veered to the wrong side. And it took its toll on me, man. Like, seriously. And now that I'm learning this, and I'm becoming closer to God, and my faith is growing stronger, and the people that I surround myself with is getting a tighter knit group of guys. I mean, I'm able to handle stuff a lot better. I want to thank, first of all, I really want to thank my wife, who encouraged me to start talking to other people, other fellow Christians, about like just the emotions I was going through. Because you live in a bubble now. The social media just keeps everybody kind of in their own little bubble, and you don't really think that people are dealing with issues that you're dealing with. Well, let me tell you something about that. As soon as I started talking to other people and actually having real conversations, I realized how much other people are dealing with almost the same stuff, sometimes worse than what I'm dealing with. I owe all that to my wife, and you see her on the videos, and I'm blessed. I really, honestly, I believe she's a guardian angel. I see so much of my mom in her, and I see my mom in that same light. They are guardian angels. And when one went to be with God, the other one came into my life shortly after. And man, I thank God so much for my wife. And actually, she was the one that set the wheels in motion, getting me to a point where I started to want to talk about the stuff that I was feeling and going through. Social media is the social media community is no community. We need real community. I need real community. I didn't realize how much I needed until I started going and becoming active in this small group at church. And this isn't to put anybody down who doesn't feel like they need to go through that and doesn't feel like they want to be part of that. But it's such an overlooked thing. And I'm still a work in progress. I make stupid mistakes on the daily. It's one of the things that I hate, that I can beat myself up over so much, because I make stupid mistakes daily. But God knows I'm going to make those mistakes. He's not going to hold it against me. And these brothers that I have in this walk along with me aren't going to look down on me for making those mistakes either. They're going to say, hey, you know what? Tomorrow's another day. Just what is the saying? Lace up your boots. I don't know what the heck. I don't know. Just tomorrow's another day. You're good. I'm gonna edit that out, but I had to look down and make sure my camera's still recording. This thing. There's other people in this thing that we call life along with us, and I'm just so grateful. I really believe that now through God's help and like other fellow believers around me, there's really nothing that I can't do. Or there's nothing that I can't do with their help. I just feel, like I could take on whatever. And I say that with a little bit of, I don't know, anxiety maybe, because I know there's always things that can happen. There's stuff that can happen that'll stress me out. And how do I act in that moment? Well, as I grow, the better. I mean, I'm getting those gifts where I can actually just deal with things in a better way, I guess, is the best way to say it. I think being a slave to my emotions for the amount of time that I was, and being a slave to what happened around me and the circumstances and the stuff, all that stuff that I blamed certain things on, it broke me down to a point that finally gave me humility. And it gave me the humility I needed to get to the end of myself and give the keys over to God. And I don't know who's watching this. I don't know. I mean, you might think it's just a bunch of garbage that I'm talking about, but this is my personal life, and this is where I get my strength from. I felt the need to make this video because I want people to kind of see the real me. And I'm not perfect in any light. I'm beyond perfect. Social media, we only really show like the perfect side of ourselves, not really the stuff that's hard. This stuff is hard for me. To be able to forgive people that I don't believe deserve my forgiveness, and to be able to even pray for those people and be able to turn a cheek when I'm slapped across the face, that's not easy. And it's something I'm going to struggle through for the rest of my life. It's something I struggle through daily. And dealing with my emotions in the correct way, it's something I didn't do in the past. And it's something I struggle to do right now. I'm never going to be perfect. But I'm working on it now. I'm like a kid. Like kids aren't born and they just start walking. They stumble, they're going to fall, they're going to trip over themselves, they're going to crawl before they walk. All this stuff is going to happen before they can actually walk. That's all I'm doing. I'm struggling to walk. Eventually, I might get better at it. But that's just the real me, and I wanted to be... A lot of this brought on because... this video was brought on essentially all the stuff going on. The regatta stuff going on, that was amazing. That was a fun time. I loved it. My wife, going to the new place, that's so exciting. I can't wait to get into it. I'm so excited to see what God has planned for me. I know this isn't another video, and I don't want to come across as preachy, because I'm not preachy at all. If you want to see a way not to do your life, look at my life. I don't want this to come across like I'm preaching to you, because I'm not. I'm just trying to show you where my actual hope comes through the coronavirus, through all this other stuff that's going on, and all the other trials and tribulations that come on. I just had brunch with like a bunch of guys from church. We were in a leadership training thing. Well, I'm not going to go into depth. I mean, and I'm not going to give out names or anything like that, because it's confidential, and what others people's business is none of their business except theirs and God's. And we do this thing called life together, essentially, is what this group is. We talk about stuff, real stuff that never gets talked about, emotions that never get talked about, emotions that guys are not supposed to have, stuff that we're supposed to be above. We're too cool for that, right? No, we talk about that stuff, and it's serious. I just want to thank God for my wife for getting me involved in it, and for the guys that surrounded me as I went through this journey and trying to better myself and become maybe somebody that can help lead in some areas of a church or fellowship in the future. They gave me this book with a little bow on it. It's pretty cool. It's Pocket Prayers, and I'm definitely going to use this. It's pretty awesome. And I'm not going to read the whole card that's in it, because they gave me a card that came with it. I'll just read the scripture verse on the outside. The stuff that's inside is just for me. It's just private, man. It's just cool it's just uplifting stuff from the guys that I was in this thick group with. And it says on the outside of this, those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. I mean, that verse goes on. But that's what I'm looking for. And that's where I get my faith. That's where I get my happiness. There's going to be stuff that's going to happen. We're all going to have struggles. I've had my share. And this is not only is not meant to have me preach at you, it's also not meant for you to feel sorry for me, because I don't need that. In the past, I probably looked for that, like people to feel sorry for me, and the stuff that I had gone through, and the stuff that I was going through at the time. But I don't need that. What I need to do is just focus on how through it all, God is still good. No matter what. This life is a vapor. I mean, I'll be in and out. Who knows how long I got on this earth, but I mean, I can't focus on any of that. I have to focus on all the blessings that God's given me. I have two amazing daughters, the most loving and amazing wife anyone could ask for, an amazing family, like amazing in-laws. When my family started to when I lost my mom and dad, in-laws that stepped in, and I consider my whole in-law family, I consider them my family. The most loving family ever, and I'm so grateful for them. I can't wait to get closer, and after my daughter's done with her regattas and stuff, and get over in that way, it's going to be so amazing. I'm so grateful for the brothers in Christ that I've been spending this time and getting closer and becoming closer to God, and just taking life by the horns and just relying on the gifts that God gave me. Relying on His strength, not mine, because mine fails me all the time. This video is weird. It's not like a comedy video. It's not laughing. It's not joking about anything. It's just, I felt I wanted to talk about stuff. And I wanted to thank the people in my life and the people I'm so grateful for. Because like I said before, I can't be angry and grateful at the same time. So I have to lean on gratefulness. Otherwise, my default is anger. That's just the way my stupid mind works. So I am so grateful for my wife and my kids, my in-laws, all of their kids, their extended family. They're as close to my blood as blood is. My brother Tim, like my friends in Tampa, my friends all over the place I've met throughout my life. I'm so thankful for you all. I'm so thankful for God waking me up in the morning. I'm thankful for what is gonna happen in my future, and just enjoying whatever time I got left on this earth with God, and dealing with whatever life has to throw at me through those goggles with God at my side, because I can't do it without Him. I'm sorry if this is a video that nobody really wants to watch. I know it's talking about a subject that a lot of people don't really care about or like or whatever, and I'm sorry if I lose respect from anybody. That is what it is. This is my life. This is where I get my strength, and I'm trying my best to I fail all the time at this, but I'm trying my best to look at people the way God looks at people, and that's a struggle because I can be judgmental. My human nature is to be judgmental. I think we all have that in us. But I think every morning when I do my devotions, after I do my devotions, I on the way to work, I pray that God helps me see other people the way He sees them, because He looks at you all, everybody out there watching this. He looks at you all, and He loves you all. And I can't say I do that. I have to retrain myself, and it's hard. But this is a struggle that I'm willing to go through, because the more I do it, the more I try to go down that path, man, the better I feel. And I just feel amazing right now. This day is so great. There's so much that God has in store for me and my family, and for what we got going on, and with this move and everything else that's going on, and just even making dinner with my oldest daughter. I'm so excited about today. You can't even imagine. And tomorrow even. I'm just so excited, and I thank God for what He has for me in the future. And with that, I'm going to end the video. Next week there might be something a little bit more goofy. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on with the whole move and stuff, and I'll keep you updated. This is a move. My wife started heading over there. She's already in the area, getting ready to get settled in. I'll be here a few more months as my daughter finishes out her season. But it's just I'm excited, and you're coming along with me on this journey. And I pray you all have just such a wonderful day. And with that, I'm going to end it. I love you guys, and God loves you. With that.